Hello, this is Janice, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from the December 11th issue of the River Rock Times on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Mayor-elect Ryan begins City Hall leadership reorganization. Mayor-elect Sean Ryan announced December 5th plans for a reorganization of the City of Buffalo's leadership structure that he says will improve operational efficiency while saving taxpayer dollars. The changes include the appointment of 4 deputy mayors: Thomas Baines, Eugenio Russi, Benjamin Swankamp, and Maria White. We're building a city government that will work nimbly and collaboratively to solve problems quickly and deliver the first-rate service that the people of Buffalo deserve, Ryan said. Our incoming deputy mayors are deeply respected local leaders with diverse strength. Their experience will be integral to delivering the capable, responsive leadership needed to help every department in City Hall operate to its highest potential. In a change from previous administrations, each deputy mayor will oversee several city departments. Ryan says consolidating high-level decision-making and reducing time-consuming administrative burdens on Buffalo's commissioners so they may focus more fully on the day-to-day management of their departments. He says the new leadership structure will produce long-term savings by reallocating funding from several appointed positions that will be eliminated in the reorganization. North District Council member Joseph Golombek said he believes Ryan will submit proposals to us during the first Common Council meeting of 2026. I am supportive of his proposals as long as it is financially responsible, stays neutral, or saves the city money in salaries, Golombek said. We have been told that there will be a restructuring of jobs that could save the city $600,000. If that is the case, I will be fine with it. Ryan also announced the appointment of Gabriella Harrington as Chief of Staff. Harrington currently serves as Ryan's Deputy Chief of Staff in the New York State Senate. And previously worked as his policy advisor and director of community affairs. Her prior experience includes serving as director of special projects in Ryan's Assembly office and as development and public policy coordinator for Catholic Charities of Buffalo. About the deputy mayors. Thomas E. Baines, Esquire, the current Deputy Commissioner of Planning and Economic Development for Erie County and founder of Baines Law, PLLC, has more than a decade of experience in housing development and public sector leadership. His prior roles include Executive Director of the Batavia Housing Authority and Director of Administration and Finance for the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency. Eugenio Russi is the former Executive Director of Hispanisos Unidos de Buffalo and served nearly 30 years as a regional director for the New York State Division of Parole. Russi is a Vietnam-era U.S. Air Force veteran and has been a long-standing leader in advancing services for Buffalo's Hispanic community. He currently serves as chair of the board of directors for ECMC. Benjamin Swanekamp, currently Chief of Staff to the Erie County Executive and a member of both the New York State and Erie County Democratic Committee's executive committees, has extensive experience in municipal management, budgeting, and intergovernmental affairs. He previously served as Erie County Deputy Budget Director, overseeing the capital budget, internal and external audits, and administration of federal pandemic relief funds, and as Policy Director for Erie County. Swanekamp has experience in emergency management, serving in a senior role at the county's Emergency Operations Center, coordinating the county's winter storm response, and having been trained in FEMA's Incident Command System. Maria White is currently Chief Community Impact Officer and Chief of Staff at the Community Foundation for Greater Buffalo. She previously served as Erie County's Deputy County Executive, advancing major economic development initiatives, including the redevelopment of the former Bethlehem Steel site and supporting critical community services. Before beginning her career in government with 3 terms as the majority leader at the Erie County Legislature, White served as the executive director of the Coalition for Economic Justice, where she organized communities to support workers' rights. Ryan's inauguration will be held on January 1st, 2026 at noon at Kleinhans Music Hall. This will mark the first time a Buffalo mayoral inauguration has been held at Kleinhans. The ceremony will be followed by a reception in the Mary Seton Room at Kleinhans, featuring performances from local cultural organizations and catering by Buffalo restaurants. Ryan will be sworn into office by Anthony Brindisi, United States District Judge for the Northern District of New York. Riverside Academy gets all clear. Riverside Academy, PS 208 on Ontario Street, reopened Friday, December 5th for a regular day of instruction. Buffalo Fire worked with the district to give the school the all clear. Out of an abundance of caution, Riverside Academy was closed on December 4th due to a water pump malfunction and affecting the school's boiler system, which caused a significant amount of smoke to be released inside the school. A noticeable smoke odor remains in parts of the school. To ensure the health and well-being of students and staff, the school was closed as air cleaning measures are conducted, so the building is restored to normal. Perspectives. Time to start getting ready for Christmas by John Duke. If you listen very carefully, you can hear Charlie Brown and his friends slowly and softly singing "Christmas Time is Here," and it's only December 11th. Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. This year, the Christmas season began on Sunday when the Cincinnati Bengals delivered a huge gift to the Buffalo Bills, a win right here in Orchard Park. Every gambler in Las Vegas, Nevada, or Las Vegas, will tell you if given the choice, they'd rather be lucky than good. This Sunday, it looks like the Bills are all set to win another one. They're the favorites to beat New England in New England. Today, the betting line that the New York State encourages is the Bills minus 1.5, with an under and over 50.5 total points scored in the game. As of today, the bookies are going with Buffalo against the average gambler. But more importantly, Christmas is the annual festival commemorating the birth of our Lord, observed on December 25th as a religious and cultural celebration among billions of people around the world. A liturgical feast central to Christianity. Christmas preparation begins on the first Sunday of Advent, and it is followed by Christmastide, which historically is in the West lasts 12 days and culminates on Twelfth Night. Christmas Day is a public holiday in many countries, is observed religiously by a majority of Christians, as well as celebrated culturally by many non-Christians, and forms an integral part of the annual holiday season. We used to have a Christmas parade led by Santa Claus, which traveled from Military Avenue down Grant Street to West Ferry. Mrs. Claus and Linda Pellegrino tossed Christmas candies from the sleigh to the children who lined up to wave to Santa. Buffalo had a lot of class. The traditional Christmas narrative recounted in the New Testament, known as the Nativity of Jesus, says that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, in accordance with Messianic prophecies. When Joseph and Mary arrived in the city, the inn had no room, and so they were offered a stable where the Christ child was born, with angels proclaiming this news to shepherds, who then spread the word. 3 magi, Persian for magicians, known as 3 kings and wise men, traveled to the stable, guided by the stars. There were different hypotheses regarding the date of the birth of Jesus. In the early 4th century, the church fixed the date as December 25th, the date of the winter solstice in the Roman Empire. It is 9 months after Annunciation on March 25th, also the Roman date of the spring equinox. Surprisingly, the exact date most Christians celebrate on December 25th in the Gregorian calendar, which has been adopted almost universally in the civil calendars used in countries through the West. However, part of the Eastern Christian or Greek churches celebrate Christmas on December 25th of the older Julian calendar, which currently corresponds to January 6th. Little Christmas in the Gregorian calendar. For Christians, celebrating that God came into the world in the form of man to atone for the sins of humanity is more important than knowing Jesus Christ's exact birthday. The customs associated with Christmas in various countries have a mix of pre-Christian, Christian, and secular themes and origins. Popular holiday traditions include gift giving, completing an Advent calendar or Advent wreath, Christian music and caroling, watching Christmas films, viewing a nativity play, an exchange of Christmas cards, attending church services, a special meal, and displaying various Christmas decorations, including Christmas trees, Christmas lights, and nativity scenes, poinsettias, garlands, wreaths, mistletoes, and hollies. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the River Rock Times on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Additionally, several related and often interchangeable figures known as Santa Claus, Father Christmas, St. Nicholas, and Christkin or Kris Kringle are associated with bringing gifts to children during the Christmas season and have their own body of traditions and lore. Because of gift giving and many other aspects of the Christmas festival involve heightened economic activity, Christmas has become a significant event and a key sales period for retailers and businesses. Over the past few centuries, Christmases had had a steadily growing economic effect in many regions of the world. So you better get ready. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows you when you've been bad or good, so be good for heaven's sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why Santa Claus is coming to town. Now try and get that song out of your head. I bet you can't. Quinn Minute by Rix Quinn. A friend asked me if it was okay to delay sending holiday cards until late December. I asked 2 questions. 1, will you send me a card? 2, does it contain a gift certificate? Actually, I believe a late card is a great card. There are 3 good reasons and 2 average ones to delay mailing. 1, excited recipients. Before the 25th, your loved ones got greetings from friends, plus people who could sell them something. The week after, they'll welcome any card that doesn't require monthly payments. 2, longer shelf life. It's likely those early cards got tossed out with wrapping paper, not your later arrival, which might sit around until late January. Money-saving hint, add heart stickers to the envelope. Call it a Yuletide Valentine. 3, enclose a letter. Between Christmas and New Year's, recipients have nothing better to do and will love to read letters about folks they met once at either a childhood class or a school play. Enclose money. Last year, my old football coach got a card containing 25 cents, along with the message, I heard you needed a quarterback. 5, personal delivery. For an interesting night out and perhaps a free meal, hand deliver those cards to each door. When I tried this, some of my friends pretended they weren't home. But that's okay. I hung around until breakfast. D District Blotter, compiled by Roxy Harbison, week of December 11th, 2025. As are all persons accused of a crime, the defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. On December 2nd, the defendant, a 27-year-old woman of no permanent address or NPA, along with a co-defendant, broke the rear door of an Upper East Lane apartment and began squatting inside the apartment. The apartment was being used for criminal activity, including drug use and theft. The defendant and co-defendant created a significant health risk to the surrounding apartments by leaving raw food to rot, as well as feces and urine throughout the apartment. While inside of the apartment, an active copper water supply line was cut and stolen, causing significant flooding and damage. The damages caused throughout the apartment are estimated to exceed $1,500, according to the victim's statement. Victim, a driver, was driving the suspect, defendant, a 36-year-old Black Rock man, home to Germain Street from ECMC, where suspect suddenly started to attack the victim from the back seat, climbing over and starting to hit the victim, then pulled her out of the car and continued hitting her to the ground. Buffalo Police, Narco, and SWAT executed a warrant on Germain Street. The defendant, a 39-year-old Riverside man, was apprehended by SWAT in a front-locked bedroom. Officers recovered a pink jar containing 1 gram of crack cocaine, a bag of 1 gram cocaine, a bag containing 1.5 grams of fentanyl, 1 black digital scale, glassine envelopes and vials for packaging, 1 jar of VitaBlend, all on a table next to the bed, fentanyl and cocaine 1 gram each. Defendant, a 28-year-old Cheektowaga woman, did take 8 Christmas trees valued at $45 each, past all points of payment from the discount store on Niagara Street. Defendant was apprehended in a Toyota RAV, where defendant and co-defendant were in possession of stolen merchandise from the store. Also recovered from defendant's purse was 2 grams of white powdery substance. The vehicle was impounded. The same day, same woman, defendant did take merchandise past all points of purchase without payment from a discount store on West Ferry Street. Defendant was apprehended in a RAV4, where defendant and co-defendant were in possession of stolen merchandise from the store. The co-defendant is a 23-year-old Buffalo woman. The same woman did take merchandise past all points of purchase without payment from the discount store on Skillen Street. Defendant was apprehended in a RAV4, where defendant and co-defendant were in possession of stolen merchandise from the store. Co-defendant is a 23-year-old Buffalo woman. Same woman. Defendant is a 28-year-old Cheektowaga woman. Pursuant to a common scheme to deprive others of property with a total approximate value of $2,583. Defendant did take without permission, bypassing all points of purchase without rendering payment, from a popular body care store on Elmwood Avenue. Candles and body care products, to wit, on June 2025, defendant did take without permission and without rendering payment $700 in merchandise. On June 6, 2025, same store, $983 stolen merchandise. On June 23, 2025, same store, $900 in merchandise stolen. Co-defendant, a 23-year-old woman. Defendant, a 23-year-old Riverside man, did strike the victim on Ontario Street about the head with the use of a wooden chair, causing a contusion and laceration of her forehead. Victim did also have 2 lacerations to right forearm. All injuries required stitches. Defendant, 23-year-old Riverside. Defendant, a 38-year-old homeless Ohio man, did take the victim's or brother-in-law's vehicle without permission on Germain Street. The defendant was observed by Tonawanda Police Department in the vehicle and did impound the vehicle after it was involved in an accident. Defendant was seen on the ring camera of the victim taking the vehicle without permission. The victim reports defendant left the hospital and came back to the victim's home. Defendant, a 40-year-old man, NPA, was observed by officers climbing through a window of an Isabel Avenue apartment. While inside, a defendant did cause damage to the majority of the apartment, creating an unsafe condition to such premises. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from the December 11th issue of the River Rock Times. Your reader has been Janice. Thank you for listening.
Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day of the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. Radio Reading volunteers broadcast daily readings of newspapers, magazines, and books to area blind and handicapped persons who are provided reading radios. We broadcast on the subcarrier signal of WNET-FM Radio Buffalo, and that is provided without charge by the Western New York Public Broadcasting Association. As always, please stay with us. Our Reading Waffle News is coming up next. And stay with us.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or another